welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be organising my traders for the upcoming Pinsane Pin Event in Runcorn. I only have a Saturday walk around ticket this time, so I've bought one of those big plastic box things that like wheels along to help carry all of my traders. I don't have as many traders as I did for the London event. I ended up trading for like a few hundred pins at that event, so it's definitely wiped out my traders a little bit. So I think I'm just going to be taking one folder this time, but I don't think I'll trade as much because I've got the walk around ticket and I've only got a 1 day ticket. But I just wanted to organise my pins with you. I know some people like inspiration on how to organise their pins for pin events and what they do to like price up their pins. So I'll talk about that a little bit as well. So I have this Pinfolio Pro window folder and I'm going to be putting all of my traders into here. As you can see, there's quite a few gaps now that I've been to that pin event in London. I also have this smaller Pinfolio that does have a few traders in it that are left over, but I think I'll be able to fit these into that folder, so that should be fine. I will be taking an empty folder to put my trades into. I just don't have it right now, but it's just the Pinfolio Max Show, so a bit bigger than this. When I was at the London event, I put all the prices of the pins in a notebook, and I think I'm going to do that again this time because I'm not a massive fan of like putting stickers on and off the pins and the pin cards and everything. I just don't like doing that, so I'm going to be writing all the prices down. And I'm also going to be going through my pin collections to see if there's any pins I would be happy to part with. There's definitely some Snow White pins that I'm looking to get rid of, so I'm going to add those to my traders as well. So I've pulled out some Snow White pins, so I'm going to be adding these ones to my traders and also these three. I don't really collect Snow White pins anymore, so I was kind of fine just putting a few of them into my traders. So now I'm going to pull out all the pins. I've got some extra pins to add, so I'm going to try and organise everything into like limited edition, limited release, open edition, and then we can start putting them back into the folders. Now that I've emptied the folders, I'm going to start organising the pins. So I think I'm going to do what I've always done, limited edition on the front page, and then I'll put some limited edition on this page. And then I'll move on to the pins with the backing cards, limited release and then open edition. And then we'll put all the loose pins at the back. I think I'm going to be fine on space. I don't think I've got really many other traders coming, so I can just pop them in at the back if I need to. But yeah, let's start organising the pins and then I'll be able to start pricing them up. So that's all the pins now in the folder. This is really good because I've got a bit of space at the back in case I get any more traders before the pin event. As I said, I do have one of those like plastic boxes that you can wheel around. So I'm going to put this in there. I've got stickers to hand out. I'll probably take lots of snacks as well. But these are all of my traders for the event. If you are going to the Runcorn pin event, I'm only there on the Saturday, but if you do see me, please say hello. I'll have a walk around ticket, so I'll be able to see lots of people and chat with everyone, which will be nice. And it's always fun seeing pin friends. Like I said, I think I'm going to be using the notebook to write the prices of the pins on. I might put the prices on a note on my phone as well, as I am going to be walking around this time. So just to make it a bit easier, I might do that. In terms of pricing up pins, I use eBay sold listings, and I also look at the pin pages that I'm part of, the Facebook groups, to see what people are selling their pins for. The Disneyland Paris pins will sell for a lot more in the US because they can't get them as easily. So just keep that in mind. And also just like factor in what you've paid for a pin. You know, if you've paid £10 for a pin from the Disney store, I don't think it needs to be valued at like £25 if it's an open edition. You know, like we all know that you spent £10. So just keep that in mind when pricing pins. And just think about it, you know, you spent £10 on the pin, you might be able to trade it for £15, but then you're getting a pin that you really want. So just keep that in mind. You know, people are inflating the prices on eBay, and we don't really want to contribute to that. So let's try and factor that in when we're pricing our pins. I've done it before that I've overpriced a pin, so I'm not saying that I'm an angel, but just keep that in mind when you're looking at prices, and just weigh up what you're getting out of it. I will be updating my Instagram stories with pins that I'm looking for. I've done it once already, but I'm going to put more stories up leading up to the event. So if you want to pre-trade, pop me a message on there. You know, I'll put what I'm looking for, but I'm happy to look at other things as I've only got a 1-day ticket, so I'm keen to make the most of it. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.